What is going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, King of Games here. Today, we're going to be watching an exciting matchup with Marincess versus Salamangreat post-Chaos Impact inside of the 2019 October format. As I'm going to start off my turn by activating CYNET mining, discarding the Rodent Totem to add Marincess Blue Tang. Now for the people, ladies and gentlemen, that are wondering, how powerful is Marincess Blue Tang? What does it do for the Marincess strategy? Well, it changes so much, as it does provide a 4th, 5th, and 6th option to go full Marincess combo and grab 2 cards back in the process. I'm going to normal summon Blue Tang to send Seahorse to the graveyard, and now I'll be able to start off with a full combo. This combo will get me at least a Link 3 monster, possibly with 3 attachments if I so choose, but more importantly, I'd be able to get said attachments back to my hand. So it is a +2 plus a Link 3 monster, as I'll use it for the Link summon of Marincess Blue Tang, which can essentially be a +3 using the effect of Blue Tang. You get to excavate the top 3 cards from your deck, and if any of them are Marincess cards, you get to add them to your hand. So it actually does provide more than just a utility combo. It can potentially add cards like Marincess Wave from your deck to your hand. Link summoning into Blue Tang. Blue Tang's effect will allow me to add Seahorse from my deck to my hand, or Blue Slug. And now I get to special summon Seahorse to where the Blue Slug points to. Immediately using the Seahorse for a Link summon, we're going to make Marincess Sea Angel, but it looks like Salamangreats do have the response in Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, which is a really good opportunity to summon against this deck, because there are multiple times where you put 2 Link monsters on your side of the field, which means Phantasme can get optimal draw usage, being able to dig through 3 cards from your deck and then shuffle your hand accordingly. Sea Angel allows you to add Marincess Battle Ocean, and now you can start off with some plays. But I know what you guys are thinking, ladies and gentlemen. How'd you get this sick mat, CaliEffect? Well, for the ladies and gentlemen that are wondering, I did get this mat from Imperium Duelist, ladies and gentlemen. Use the code CaliEffect10 off to receive 10% off your entire purchase. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're buying mats, sleeves, whatever from Imperium Duelist, if you use the code CaliEffect10 off, you will receive 10% off your entire purchase. Now that that is out of the way, looking into our situation right here, Fantastical Dragon Phantasme does allow Salamangreats to reshuffle their hand and get what they need, as we'll proceed on to link both of our monsters off into Marincess, I cannot say this card's name, Coral Anemone, which is met by Nibiru, the Primal Being. Fortunately for Marincess, Anemone does activate its effect, allowing you to get Blue Tang back to your hand. So that 1 card investment does get you your 1 card back, but Nibiru is a really huge problem for the Marincess strategy. Fortunately for Marincess, its combo wasn't completely stopped, so you can go ahead and discard a water monster to special summon Swap Frog from your hand to the graveyard, or from your hand to your side of the field. And saying that Marincess Mandarin sits to the graveyard, that can set up some real plays. Using the effect of Swap Frog, we can send another Swap Frog from our decks to the graveyard. And then we can follow up by banishing our Ron and Tarnan, or our Swap Frog that we set, to summon Ronnie Boy to our side of the field. From there on out, as you guys can see, we can link both of those monsters off, or exceed with both of those monsters, to make a totally awesome. Since we've already used Marincess Coral Anemone's effect, normally that would be an amazing recovery option, but that's not longer possible, seeing that we've already gained its abilities. Special summoning Totally Awesome, and in passing our turn on the standby phase of Salamangreat, we're going to go ahead and detach the Swap Frog to be able to special summon a Dupe Frog to our side of the field. Now, Dupe Frog is actually really good right now. It prevents the opponent from attacking into the Totally Awesome, and the Totally Awesome is a free negate. Salamangreat's opening with CYNET mining, thinking that it's a really good opportunity. We're going to use the effect of Totally Awesome to negate said mining, but even more importantly, we'll take the mining for our own. Seeing that this is a Cyberse archetype, being able to snatch cards like CYNET mining and prevent your opponent from going plus, this is a huge minus for them, could be pivotal. But unfortunately for Marincess, Salamangreat actually has a lot more up its sleeve. Losing the CYNET mining doesn't hurt the Salamangreat deck, as it will always have other options. Those other options would have to be committing other monsters to our side of the field, and that's going to be a Flame Buffalo. Being able to use that monster for a Link summon right into our Salamangreat Baylinks, as one would assume, gaining the effect of our Salamangreat Baylinks as well as our Flame Buffalo, And if you guys order it right, Balinks is Chain Link 2, Buffalo is Chain Link 1, you can not only be able to add your, Salamangreat Sanctuary, because it's a card nobody wants to really stop. You'll also be able to gain the effects of Flame Buffalo, which will allow you to discard a Cyberus monster to draw 2 cards. And it looks like Salamangreat is going to take full advantage of that. After activating the Salamangreat Sanctuary, you're going to go ahead and discard the Sea Archiver to be able to draw 2 additional cards. Now, the reason why that is so important with Salamangreats is because there are a lot of times you have a lot of Cyberus monsters that just sit in your hand, and Cyberus Buffalo or Flame Buffalo can actually get you those cards in the graveyard where they can still be useful, as well as dig deeper into your combo. Now, since there is a Salamangreat monster and Salamangreat Balinks, you can spell summon Spinny to where Balinks points to, and since you did spell summon a monster to where it points to, Sea Archiver can hit the field. Using both of those monsters for an Exceed summon, Salamangreat Marat Stallion hits the field to be met by Nibiru, the Primal Being. Whoa! If there was ever anything, summoning a Nibiru to tribute a Nibiru that your opponent Nibiru'd you for is pretty strong. Now, Nibiru the Primal Being does hit the field, tributing all monsters on the field. And Nibiru's attack is equal to the monsters that its tributed original attack. So that token is actually fairly beefy. Salamangreat setting a card face down, having their entire plate stymied by 2 cards and totally awesome. And the Nibiru, it's going to be up to Marincess to be able to capitalize. Normal summoning Blue Tang, which was added to the hand through Animo, it's going to be met with a Salamangreat Rage, pitching a Salamangreat Foul to the graveyard to be able to destroy the Blue Tang before you can follow it with Link properties. So the thing about Marincess is that it is heavily dependent on its normal summon or just being able to have a Marincess monster on your side of the field, which can be detrimental. If you do get rid of that Marincess monster, then 9 times out of 10 odds are you're in a pretty good spot, which is what Nibiru tried to do, which is what Salamangreat Rage tried to do. But unfortunately, in this day and age, in 2019, Monster Reborn does exist. Being able to special summon back that Marincess Blue Tang to our side of the field, and then immediately use it for a Link summon into the Marincess Sea Slug or Blue Slug, gaining the effect of, gaining the effect of the Marincess Blue Tang, this time revealing a Marincess Wave to add to the hand. Also, Blue Tang will, or Blue Sea Slug, Blue Slug will allow you to recur a Marincess monster in the graveyard to the hand. So we already know that Seahorse is in the graveyard. That can be really easy to recur, especially since 2 copies were sent to the graveyard. One with the intention of possibly being used to special summon water monsters to the side of the field. So with this, it looks like Blue Slug is going to trigger. That's going to get Seahorse from the deck to the hand. And now you can follow it with special summoning Sea Slug if you don't have Swap Frog. Looks like we're going to be playing it safe, as I'm pretty confident Swap Frog was in the graveyard. Marincess Seahorse is summoned to make Sea Angel. And Sea Angel is just so you can trigger off the effect of your Marincess Mandarin. To special summon itself to the side of the field, you need 2 Marincess monsters, and then you have to special summon to where a Marincess Link points to. Following up, using both the Seahorse and banishing the Mandarin, you can now make Marincess Coral Animo. Now, obviously we're going to fix that banish. And Animo allows you to special summon Dupe Frog to your side of the field. Here's where you probably would want to special summon that Swap Frog because you did pitch it to the graveyard with your Seahorse. But as you guys can see, we're playing it a little different using both of those monsters for another summon. We're going to go ahead and make Marincess Marbled Rock. Now, Marbled Rock will allow you to get a recursion from your graveyard to your hand, and so will the Marincess Coral Animo, which allows you to get 2 cards, 2 Marincess monsters from your graveyard to your hand, and it can be scary hours for Salamangreat. Using CYNET mining, it's gonna get hit with the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, won't allow combos to extend further. If that Ash Blossom, wasn't there, then the game could have extended and possibly even went for game. Now, special summoning the Swap Frog to the side of the field is going to follow up. Maybe playing around cards like Ash Blossom or Nibiru again was the better idea, as Swap Frog is going to send another Swap Frog to the graveyard, and then it's going to banish itself to be able to special summon a Ronantanen back to the side of the field. Now, Ronantanen and Swap Frog are going to be used for an Exceed summon into Totally Awesome. And now that I think about it, that token probably should have been in the attack. I'm not 1000% sure what its defense is If I remember correctly, it's not toostronk, which means that is a pretty big misplay by both parties. We could have just attacked over the token and possibly even went for game, but we're gonna assume that that token would have been an attack. I'm pretty sure it's a very strong attack right now, as we're gonna use the effect of Totally Awesome, detaching a material to spell summon Dupe Frog. I want to say that that token's defense is like a pretty high number, but I'm like not 100% sure. This is why you guys should always keep track of your token's attack and defense. I thought it was like at 6k, and I'm like, nah, I ain't attacking into that. Where in actuality, I think it's more like around 1900, which is crazy. The double Dupe Frog lock is going to prevent Salamangreats from attacking regardless, and now we can continue on with our next play. Trying to figure out what can be done against this monstrosity of a Nibiru. Marincess Blue Tang does hit the field, allowing you to send another Marincess card from your deck to the graveyard. This time it seems to be another Mandarin. From there on out, using the effect of Marincess Marbled Rock, you'll now be able to return one Marincess Coral Anemone from your graveyard back into your extra deck. That Marincess Marbled Rock will get you recursion as long as it's on the field. And then following up using those two Marincess monsters, Blue Tang and your Marbled Rock, right into the back into the Marincess Coral Anemone. That Anemone's effect will allow you to special summon a monster, but not before you use the effect of Blue Tang to add a Sea Slug or a Seahorse from your deck to your hand for free. Marincess is really good at keeping the advantage. It's a little bit different from Salamangreat, as you want to get a steady flow. Once you get that steady flow, recurring your resources is fairly simple. Using both Dupe Frogs for an Exceed summon, we're going to make Paleozoic OPABINIA, and while it won't be able to search a Paleo Trap card, it seems that we've already drawn the Paleo Trap card that we need, activating the effect of PALEOZOIC DINOMISCHUS, which will allow it to banish what we would thought was our huge defensive token. Now we'll be able to follow up with some extreme damage, possibly even hit for game. Is the Salamangreat face down a Mirror Force? Well, I mean, I guess it kind of does not matter because Totally Awesome is totally awesome. So if it were a Salamangreat Rage, the Rage would be able to attempt to destroy something, but I strongly feel that Salamangreat would have used the Rage beforehand to attempt to destroy something anyways. Now using the Anemo and the Paleozoic OPABINIA, we're going to go ahead and link into our Marincess Marbled Rock, and now use the effect of Marbled Rock to be able to, or Anemo to be able to recur the Blue Tang. Following up, we're going to go ahead and special summon Ronin Toad into the side of the field. And here's where things get a little more interesting. Normally you want to summon Wonderheart, your biggest Marincess monster in terms of effects, I guess, while using Crystal Heart, which makes it unaffected by card effects. But this time around, Battle Ocean is going to hit the field, and Ronin Toad is going to be on the field. Both of those monsters are going to be used for a link summon into Marincess Wonderheart, which allows you to equip up to 3 monsters. But what's even more important is that Marincess Wonderheart can special summon one of those equipped monsters to the side of the field, and that is enough for game. Salamangreat's losing game 1, Marincess being able to capitalize. Let's see what happens when Salamangreat goes first. Now, Salamangreat is no slouch to the new format. It's a very, very powerful deck, and I think people should not sleep on how powerful this deck can be. As starting off, Salamangreat is going to start off with the normal summon of Salamangreat Foxy, revealing 3 cards from the deck, adding one of them to the hand, which happens to be Salamangreat Roar. Now, Salamangreat Roar is a really good add-off of the Foxy, mainly because you don't have to use Gazelle to send cards like Roar to the graveyard now. You can still follow up with some major plays. Salamangreat Circle is going to follow up, and that will allow you to add a Salamangreat or a Salamangreat monster from your deck to your hand. We're going to go ahead and add Salamangreat Gazelle. Now, once the Foxy is used for a link summon into our Banelinks, we can actually trigger the effect of Salamangreat Gazelle to be able to protect the Banelinks, you know, to prevent our opponent from searching, or to prevent our opponent from preventing us from searching. Which, I mean, that's not a terrible thing to do. It's not, nobody's going to stop the Banelinks. So the Gazelle is going to hit the field under the Banelinks and activate its effect. If you guys would have a monster like Sea Archiver, chaining the Sea Archiver or activating the Sea Archiver to the response of Banelinks or Gazelle being summoned under the Banelinks, you can protect the Gazelle from being Ash Blossomed or whatnot. So yes, it looks like the Gazelle is going to send the Spinny. Spinny's going to special summon itself since there are Salamangreat monsters on the side of the field. Both of those monsters are used for an Exceed summon into Salamangreat Mirage Stallion. Now, Mirage Stallion detaching the Gazelle will allow you to special summon another Salamangreat monster from your deck to your side of the field. Who would have guessed, if you guys have been playing Salamangreat in 2019 in the early years, then you would already know what monster is going to hit the field. Of course, it's going to be Salamangreat Jaguar, which allows you to recur those Salamangreat Link monsters, those extra ones that you used back into your deck, as well as provide a free monster to your side of the field. How can we forget? And since the Salamangreat monster was special summoned, Salamangreat Fowl is also going to hit the field. Using the Jaguar and the Bane Links, we're going to go ahead and Link Summon into the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. And then the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf is going to be used to link into a second Sunlight Wolf because of Salamangreat Sanctuary. From there, it looks like we can pop off with some new combos from the Chaos Impact set. Chaos Impact was amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I just cannot stress it enough. And I'm going to show you why, as we're going to return the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf to be able to special summon the Salamangreat Jaguar under the Sunlight Wolf. Triggering Sunlight Wolf's effect, you can now add a fire monster from the graveyard to your hand, which this time around is going to be Salamangreat Gazelle. But wait, there's more. Using both the Jaguar and the Fowl, not for an Exceed summon, for a Link summon into IP Masquerena? What? Chaos Impact has given Salamangreats another utility card to play with. So yes, it looks like now we're going to add that Salamangreat Circle from our graveyard to our hand due to Sunlight Wolf's other effects, since it was Link summoned using a Sunlight Wolf. Setting 2 cards face down and then pass its turn. Just to let you guys know, let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes though, ladies and gentlemen. It'd be really awesome to get there. Lets me know as a content creator I'm doing a decent job. But of course, if you guys have any suggestions, complaints, or whatsoever, be sure to voice them as well. We also have a Discord for if you guys want to try to help make them better. But that's for a different story. Links are in the description. I'm going to start off my turn with CYNET Mining, pitching a Paleozoic trap card from my hand to the graveyard to attempt to add a card from my deck to my hand, only in this. And Salamangreat Roar is going to be met with the CYNET Mining, leaving me with only 4 cards left in my hand. Normal summoning Marincess Blue Tang. Blue Tang's effect will allow me to send a Marincess monster from my deck to the graveyard. As you guys should already know, Seahorse is going to hit the graveyard, and now we can go ahead and continue to pop off with some plays. Using the Marincess Blue Tang for a Link summon right into our Marincess Blue Slug, triggering the effect of our Blue Tang, revealing 3 cards from the top of our deck. We're going to happen to reveal another Blue Tang. Let's add that to our hand. That's just free advantage from here. From there on out, it looks like we can still continue on with our combos. Blue Slug will allow us to add Seahorse, and now we can either special summon a Frog or bring out that Seahorse. It looks like we're going to go ahead and make Marincess Coral Anemone with the Seahorse and then special summon the Seahorse back out through the effect of our own monster. So now we're going to use that monster, the Seahorse, for a Link summon into our Marincess Sea Angel. And it looks like we have another Thanos hitting the board, meaning that you're going to be able to draw 3 cards from your deck and mismatch your hand to however you want. Seahorse will allow you to add Battle Ocean from your deck to your hand, but it looks like this board is starting to shape up in favor of Salamangreat. Now, it's going to be quite hard to break this board, seeing that you can't target with Thanos on board, and IP Masquerena still has a trick up its sleeve. The Salamangreat Mirage Stallion is a card that you're going to look to destroy, because if you don't, it can not only get rid of cards on your side of the field, it can also special summon Salamangreat monsters to your side of the field for free. So reading the Salamangreat Mirage Stallion, realizing that you can't use IP Masquerena and Mirage Stallion for a Link as of current, there are no Salamangreat Link monsters that don't require fire monsters. I'm going to proceed by activating Marincess Battle Ocean. And now we're going to go ahead and make that Link. We want to special summon to our side of the field our Marincess monster, which is going to be Marbled Rock. We can buy ourselves a turn because he can't be destroyed by battle when I take no damage by discarding a Marincess monster. So we can be in a pretty decent position, equipping 3 cards to our Marincess Marbled Rock, because why not? We'll start attacking over that Mirage Stallion so we can have, no, it looks like we're going to equip 2, but we'll start attacking over that Mirage Stallion because we just don't want that to happen. Now, before we even get to enter our battle phase, IP Masquerena's effect is going to activate, she is going to be able to link on the opponent's turn using both the Sunlight Wolf and the Masquerena to make a monster, which is actually quite hard to get rid of because Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax can't be targeted right now, and you must attack the Avermax, which is crazy because if it battles a special summon monster, it gains that monster attack. But what makes it even worse is that this Avermax cannot be destroyed by card effects since it was used with IP Masquerena. This game is just not worth it. Salamangreats take it in turn 2. Realizing that that monster is virtually indestructible, looks like Salamangreats have another win condition. Marincess starting off first, normal summoning Marincess Seahorse and going right into Blue Slug, not having the pleasures of drawing another Blue Tang, using that monster to make a Marincess Seahorse, Sea Angel. It looks like Salamangreats don't have a Thanos, so that's really good right now. And then following up, we're going to go ahead and add the Marincess Battle Ocean using both the Sea Slug and the Sea whatever for the Marincess Coral Anemone. See whatever. And now Anemone's going to be able to special summon the Seahorse back to the side of the field. I always say Sea Angel wrong, but it is what it is. So Seahorse right back to our side of the field using both of those monsters for a link. No, it looks like we're not going to use both of those monsters for a link just yet. Not necessarily drawing that extra water monster that we need to be able to make the exact card that we need, which would be a Wonder Heart or a Marble Rock, which is unaffected by card effects. That's actually really good. But hey, we're going to get the Marincess Marble Rock, put some equipments to it, and be able to recur a few cards from our graveyard to our hand in extra deck alike. Going ahead and passing our turn, that Marble Rock is still at a pretty decent attack. We're also complemented with 3 extra back row. Will Salamangreat be able to break this Marincess board? Well, let's go ahead and find out. As Salamangreat's going to go ahead and start off the turn using the effect of CYNET mining. No responses from the Marincess side, sending a Salamangreat Foxy to the graveyard to be able to add a Salamangreat Gazelle and special summon it to the side of the field. The crazy thing about Gazelle is that it doesn't necessarily need to see the monster hit the graveyard. But if you do use a card like CYNET Mining to add a monster like Gazelle, you can immediately special summon it. Now, Salamangreat Gazelle is going to go ahead and send Salamangreat Roar. I can only imagine that you would want to special summon Pyro Phoenix at this point in time. And if you do second summon Pyro Phoenix, not only do you get your Salamangreat Roar for free, you get to destroy all of your opponent's cards, which is a pretty decent win condition. Now, Salamangreat Foxy is going to hit the field by discarding a Spinny, and that's going to turn off Battle Ocean. Because when Salamangreat Foxy is special summoned through its effect, you get to destroy a spell or trap card on the field, but it looks like Paleozoic DINOMISCHUS is going to be activated to banish the Salamangreat Gazelle. So yeah, really smart. I don't necessarily think that the Battle Ocean was the correct play unless Gazelle or unless Foxy can only hit face-ups. Maybe a back row, but who knows? It could have hit the wrong back row, the back row that was going to be activated anyways. So Paleozoic Canadia is going to be chained to the normal summoner, activating in response to the normal summoner of Cyber's Buffalo. And then Paleozoic DINOMISCHUS is going to hit the side of the field. Foxy being used for a link summon right into our Salamangreat Baylynx. And Baylynx will be able to trigger its effect to add a, you guys already know, Salad Sanctuary from the deck to the hand. So both decks are trying to establish a dominance here. It looks like Marincess may have one more disruption left, and if that disruption isn't a huge deal, Salamangreat might have other resources. It really depends on what both of these hands and fields are looking like. So following up, it looks like Salamangreat's going to follow up with the activation of Salamangreat Sanctuary. We would have already seen that coming, so that means that there's going to be some more plays, and Salamangreat Spinny is going to hit the field. Now that's going to allow Salamangreats to chain Sea Archiver, special summoning Sea Archiver to the side of the field, and now you'll be able to use both of those monsters for an Exceed summon. That Exceed summon is going to be the Mirage Stalio. Is there a response to the Mirage Stalio summon? And it looks like there is, as Compulsory Evacuation Device is going to be activated to bounce the Mirage Stalio. So this is not looking good at all for Salamangreats. Had multiple of their combos disrupted. Cyber's Buffalo flipped face down. This is looking no bueno for Salamangreat. So it looks like the deck still isn't done. Paleozoic Canadia is going to hit the side of the field, but Salamangreat do have Will of the Salamangreats This deck is not giving up just yet, as it'll be able to special summon a Salamangreat monster from the graveyard back to the side of the field. And this time around, it's going to be Salamangreat Spinny. Now, Spinny plus the Balinks will be used for a Link summon. That's going to go ahead and make Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Is that you do still have Sanctuary on the field, you can second link the Sanctuary into your second Sunlight Wolf. Now that is amazing because you do have your Salamangreat Roar face down. Really wishing that it were a Salamangreat Rage because this would be broken, but it does not matter as Marincess Wave will be activated from the hand to negate the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Now, this is a slight misplay as you could have activated the effect of your Salamangreat Roar to set itself face down, but maybe it's just because Marincess weren't expecting to have any back row whatsoever. Sometimes people forget that Marincess is even a strategy, and Marincess Wave is a card that takes players by surprise. Passing it back to Marincess, Marble Rock is going to add Seahorse, and it looks like this is not going to be looking good as Marincess have complete control over this game. Salamangreats did exhaust quite a bit of resources. They can still get back into this game. We know they have Spinny in Graveyard. We know that they will lose the Cyber's Buffalo, and we also know that they still have their spell cards. So they're clearly not out of the game, but Marincess Seahorse is going to be normal summoned. Foolish Burial activated right after to send and spell summon the Marincess Mandarin. And this is not looking good as now multiple monsters are going to hit the field. Now, there was a pretty okay, this is pretty much a misplay by the Marincess. Special summoning the Canadia into the middle zone was definitely not the best of ideas. It actually complicated things a lot more than it should have been. If the Canadia was into any zone, you could have just like used it for additional links, but the fact that it is now in the way to where your Marincess Sea Angel would point to, you kind of have to get rid of the Canadia, but you kind of can't because the Mandarin spell summons to where Link monsters point to is just a big headache, as using all of those monsters for an unnecessary link into the Seahorse and then following up with the Anemone. Anemone will at least allow you to spell summon a Marincess monster from the graveyard to the side of the field. No frogs. Unfortunately, it does spell summon to where Sunlight Wolf points to, but very fortunately, DINOMISCHUS was used to destroy or to banish the Salamangreat Gazelle. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be really problematic for Salamangreat. As if I remember correctly, Foxy is a very valuable target, but it's really the only target, and it's actually better to let them have the Foxy than the Gazelle. So following up using Anemo and the Seahorse for a Link summon, it looks like we're going to go ahead and make another monster, which is Marincess Marbled Rock. Now, if we didn't mess up with this combo situation, we actually could have made a Marincess Wonder Heart using a Crystal Heart, making it unaffected by card effects. Using the effect of Anemo will add the Marincess Wave. Not that it really matters. It looks like this game is going to be over right now, as Marincess Battle Ocean will now be activated. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and use both the Marincess Sea Angel and the Marbled Rock for another Link summon right into the extra monster zone. We're going to go ahead and special summon Marincess Wonder Heart. And now Wonder Heart will be able to equip up to 3 Link monsters to it. And then it can special summon one if it places one in attack. So yes, it looks like this board is really dangerous. We know a Marincess Wave is in hand. Free negations for days, and we'll be able to get rid of some more cards, completely breaking Salamangreat's board, getting rid of the Sunlight Wolf as well as the face down Cyber's Buffalo, and then summon the Marincess Marbled Rock to be able to inflict some even more damage. This deck is definitely putting the vice grips on Salamangreat. What will Salamangreat have to recover, as now the Marincess Marbled Rock is going to be sent back to the Spell and Trap card zone? Salamangreat looks like it's going to be scooping it up. Whoa! Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the CaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you really did, consider joining our Patreon. We have so many awesome rewards. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day, like I am.